Good morning. Good morning. Tabata Light will uplift you. Stay tuned. The show is about to begin. Grab your coffee. Stay tuned. This show is about to begin.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Brandon Croucher, CEO of D-Light Cafe, the only digital cafe that focuses on helping you find your best you and break out of the stereotypical realms of patterns that we have. I am joined by the one, the only, the most beautiful woman in all of South Africa. She drives around waving to giraffes, petting elephants, and riding bulls.
Wow!
While teaching
I'm in
sharks to
Spain suddenly.
Well, aren't we running with bulls one day? I think that should be on our list of things to do.
Yes,
I love it.
Definitely.
We're gonna just
I skydived. It's
Yeah.
what an amazing feeling. I mean, I think my third eye opened or something when I jumped out of that plane. I don't know.
Fine, Jessica, Brat, we don't love you. It's just nice to have you here, you brat. Okay, how's that? I think that
we love all brats because we're all brats.
She says, please don't tell me you love me, though. Thank you. It's like, okay, we're gonna skip that one. Just go right over. Be like, Andre Brad. Good morning, Donald Jackson. I am for real. I am so excited for your show. I know that it's gonna go so well. Oh yeah, Donald Jackson. Yeah. What? My ADD is not good enough for you this morning?
No. I'm just finding my notes because I wrote it somewhere.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. Bob says you should leave Nevada and move back to America. LOL. Sir, you can't take my song. First time you said them, I said, ooh, and every time in between you say them, I go, ooh. So every time I see his name, I'm going to go, ooh, like this. I'll be like, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, this is Donald. He is here to teach us how to love one another. Don't you want to know?
He's got a jingle.
I can do this all day. My mind runs like that. I love it. Donald Jackson, good to see you. Brat's laughing at us calling her a brat. I'm okay with that. Like, it is in your name. Like, I'm just kind of just taking what you gave us. You can't take
what you get.
Right? You can't take my song. Okay, I won't. I promise. My mom and I got bit by a mosquito this morning.
I don't miss those.
On my belly button. How do you get bit on your belly button? Like, that's just the weirdest effing place I've ever been. I love cake. I love lamp.
I love me. I love flower.
I love night strangers. What?
Do you like it? Do you like my background?
I do. I love your background. I'm
at the Stone Daisy table right now because the sun is not as hectic in my eyes and stuff, so I can sit here. So
yeah.
you're sitting around the manifestation table. So this is where dreams happen.
This is the manifestation table?
Yes.
So I have a question then.
Yes.
What are you manifesting? Call it right now. Elsa, I missed you.
I missed you too, Mike. Wait, I'm gonna lose my train of thought. Where were we?
You were telling us about what you're gonna manifest.
So the table started 3 years ago when I moved out and decided to divorce my husband. This was the only thing that I literally bought. All the other stuff was borrowed from everybody. It belonged to everybody. So I just told them when I left, your stuff's there at the house. You must go and fetch it. This table went to my mom and them's house. But in that 3 years, me and my kids have cried and laughed and talked about our dreams and met with friends and talked about heartbreak and talked about and cried tears for people we lost. And we were scared and we did everything around this table. Winter, summer, everything. And this table is the table where we're doing stone daisies at. Because everything that we talked about around this table in that 3 years are literally starting to happen. Like in here and now, everything falling into place, me wanting to move to America. It's been a long life dream coming together.
And we're not even telling anybody. We're not even telling anybody what we talk about behind the scenes. Like, Ilse's manifesting like some big things right now. She's sitting here like, guys, just trust me. I got this. I'm at the right table. I got my daisies behind me. I'm stoned. Let's go.
How did you know I'm choking people?
I know. God, I interrupted you.
I'm moving into a new place. I'm going for an interview tomorrow, and I can actually do this job by not doing this job because I've been doing it for so long. I can do it with my eyes closed without working, and it can generate money for me. And that's what I wanted. My own time, my own thing, to do the things I love and to get our message out, because we've got a powerful message. All of us have a powerful message, and that is why things are going to start to happen very quickly now, because it's the good versus the bad. And all of them are on the internet. All of them are somehow, or everybody is somewhere connected on the internet. There's not a lot of people off the grid, and the people that you need to reach are the people on the internet. And our messages will get to the people that need to hear them. And you're going to start changing lives, and you're going to start hearing confessions of how you changed. Like, I was driving on my way here and I had an epiphany. And the first thing I thought, because it's difficult to forgive yourself for things that went wrong in your life, or decisions that you made that you knew you weren't supposed to make, that broke your soul, things that you said yes to that you shouldn't have said yes to.
Like marriage.
Exactly. And when you decide to love yourself and be in alignment with yourself, and all these things start falling off, and you get classified as all the things that happened to you in the past or that you have done in the past. Every time you try and educate someone where you come from, you get attacked on your past. My past is my past. Nobody can put anything against me or use anything against me, because I've been there and I know why I made certain decisions.
Right.
And I know where I am is where I'm supposed to be, because we need to grow out of our pain. So sometimes we need to be the bad guys, not bad guys, but the do the hard work for God to push out all the bad and then just bring in good, and just leaving a legacy on how you did treat people. And that is the most important. And that is why this message is I'm actually shaking. I'm so excited about all the things that's happening. I can't contain my excitement. I want to cry and jump and everything at the same time. And I just want people to, like, can't you see? You guys think I'm losing. I'm actually winning. I am winning. And you guys don't see it because you're so obsessed with what's going on outside you that you have no idea what person you're on. I saw it's just, I saw so many things happen in my life since I've been choosing me that was good for me. And I stopped worrying about how it affected other people and stopped feeling guilty about it, because there's reasons why you get out of things. If it's not for your soul, you will not stick around. Somehow you will get out of it. Doesn't matter if it takes you 10 years or 11 years or 34 years like it took me. You will get out of it because you know what you deserve. And I am just so excited for everybody, and I'm rambling. I'm so sorry. I'm just excited.
You're good. Ilse, you're getting hellos. You're getting a bunch of stuff. People are encouraging. Ilse, you're doing awesome.
That's
Keep
so
doing you.
amazing.
Oh, I just received a delivery from Brandon.
Wow, what is it?
I've sent you carnations? That was really nice of me.
What a surprise! I was looking at a website. Funny enough, it's called Net Florist. It's I don't know if you've got it there by you as well, where you can actually buy flowers online. I don't believe in sending people flowers because they die, but I just like, I wonder who I can send flowers to, and I was, why would I think of that now? So when he said you sent him flowers, I'm like, oh,
what do they mean? They mean I love you and not Brit Brat. Okay? Brit Brat has expressed that. She's like, I do not want you to tell me you love me. Don't tell me you even like me. I'm a brat. I want to be me. And then you have Ilse like over here. She's like, I'm on the manifestation table.
I'm just like,
all right, guys, here we go. What do you want? You get a manifest. You get a manifest. You get a manifest.
South Africa's Oprah. You get some. Just share the love. Just sharing love. I mean, share love. Oh, I used my F word, but it was very quiet. I don't think anybody heard me. Did anybody hear me? If you heard me, did anybody hear me swear?
No, I just that's only for counting Jessica Dugas's babies. How many she's had. So, and then Mandy Atterbury, hello, sweetie. We see you. We saw Sherry, Mike, Brett Gordon. I saw one up here. I know I missed earlier. I want to make sure I say hello to Jaybird. Good morning, my friend. We're so glad you're here. Ready?
Hi, Jaybird.
This is Brett Gordon's cousin in Sweden watching us. Like, this just makes my heart, like, get, like, so freaking, move the mic back, a lot of squelching. It might be the way I moved things around. Tell me if that mic sounds better, guys. If I need to unhook it, I will. But no, that is Brett Gordon's cousin. And around the world the way it is has just been,
I love it.
It's just been like so awesome because we're watching South Africa, we're watching America, we're seeing all over parts of the United States. Fernando's in Mexico. We have Canada.
Can you spell globally?
No.
Exactly. We're gonna show you. Don't worry, neither can I. I have predictive text. I can't spell for shit.
Oh my gosh. Like, I can't spell for shit either. Better a little already. Perfect. If the mic is still giving feedback, guys, let me know because I can't hear it and I don't know why. Now, getting down to business, if you're not really big on talking about it, there are flowers to let your partner know the deed is on your mind. Mauve carnations represents the dreams of fantasy. I didn't know that.
I don't know what a mauve carnation looks like.
I have no idea. Mike, you're gonna have to Google
that. Where's my pencil? I want to
Google it
because I'm gonna forget.
Google it. Why are we Googling it? Apparently, Mike sent. I sent Mike flowers, but I sent him flowers. I would like to see the pictures of these flowers I supposedly sent. And why did flowers never randomly show up to my ex-fiance or wife? That would have been amazing. Just random. I wouldn't be in as much trouble. I would be a better person, apparently. Globally or gold belly.
Gold
and then,
belly.
I'm in England, but from South Africa. I'm giving you dual citizenship. I have no rights to give you that, but you get it anyways. And we have a busy day. We really do. Today, wait, my heart is in Sicily eating a cannoli. Does that count? Should I read that one out loud, Jessica? Because I don't think that Lisa would want to hear that. And I know that you and Lisa have this really special workout relation. Oh my God, Lisa's face changed in the back too. She's like, her whole head tilted. She's like, yeah, Jess, What you doing, girl? What you eating? Huh? You want to go to Sicily and eat a cannoli? I saw that post about cake earlier, girl.
Go.
Right? She's like, if you're going to eat cannoli, you need to do 16 more push-ups right now, right? Is that right, Lisa? 16? Is that good? She gave me a thumbs up, even though she didn't. She gave me a thumbs up in my eyes. So jump on that before you're eating your heart in Sicily and enjoying a cannoli, and then slowly decaying vegetable matter for your viewing enjoyment. And what? Bob's
olfactory stimulation.
I think he wants us to talk about vegetables today. Which
okay, why?
We said cake, and look who shows up. Ryan comes out of nowhere and says, "Cake! I can't have cake." He's down to 284. Lisa, he's one we want to be proud of. He was at Ryan. Tell us what you were at, bro, because you were way up there. You have worked your tail off for months now. You earn the respect of like being proud of how far you've come. I want to make sure I tell everybody the right numbers. Oh, Bob says flowers are olfactory simulations of dying vegetables. There we go.
Okay, I'm with you. I was like, why do we want to talk about vegetables?
It's Bob. I never know where he's going to go with me. He's from 334 down to 284 now. Right? Even Lisa's face, her eyes got bigger and in the back. She was like, oh, damn.
Amazing.
And you're not talking about
He's
cake.
doing very, very well.
And he's not talking about cake or cannolis, just like Jessica does. You know, like I do have to give Jessica credit. She's working insanely hard. She has raved and raved about Lisa. And Lisa's on today. It's Wellness Wednesday. We're going to focus on bringing out the wellness in our hearts. Truth be told, Ilse's come out and she's already said, "Hey guys, I'm a stone daisy," and that's why she's behind everybody there. But she's come out and said all the great things about how she's at the manifestation table for her. She's building her best her. She's focusing on her future. She sees this coming. There's the emotional. The mental was all of us being able to know who we are inside and building it and growing. And then Lisa's going to come on, and I believe she has a nickname that she's gained through a little bit of... Sorry, her reaction in the back was priceless. Her nickname, if nobody remembers F Joe, well, we've moved it along to F Lisa. But make sure you say it in the proper context. If I catch you saying anything inappropriate, people, I'm going to make sure I remove you. No inappropriate F Lisas, okay? Only the proper F Lisas, because she is here to work you out. All right? Oh, yeah. See, she's shaking her head. No inappropriate Lisas. Are we just... None of them. I'm just mouthing what Lisa's saying. She's going to write something in the comments. I see her. She's like, oh, hold on.
Let's go.
I could bring her in, but it's still like a little early, so I kind of like having fun playing with her in the back and watching her react without me being able to. Oh, the look! So people chant, Lisa, 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 Lisa. Lisa's got
shoes. I want to get worked out.
Show everybody the shoes you were going to wear to work out. Show us. This is amazing to me that she shows up today and goes, "Brandon, I'm ready to work out. Look at my shoes." Oh!
I forgot my workout clothes.
It's okay.
Yeah, so but barefoot, what hasn't killed anybody ever, and my jean is very comfortable. I do not squeeze into jeans. They're not comfortable. I don't wear them. I like my clothes comfy, so I can exercise in this, don't worry.
Ryan says he must go. It's time for a bank heist for Lisa. Sorry, press the F button for F Lisa. I love it. I love it. Ryan, keep kicking ass, buddy. Tell us how you're doing. Keep us updated on how your weight's going, where you're going with it. We want to keep encouraging you. So working out in jeans is going to be... We're not working out today, though, just to be clear. I just wanted to make you freak out a little bit. It's all we're going to talk about accountability and how being accountable for one another. Elsa's face is so mad at me right now. I just took my shoes off, you son of a bitch. I'm going to use tomorrow's F word on you, Brandon.
Now I have to sit with the smell the whole show. Remember, it's afternoon.
Listen, hey, look who it is. It's Kathy. Oh, Yesterday was like after our show, we all got crazy.
Sorry.
Ilse, next
so
Tuesday we're
sorry.
going, right?
Definitely. Next Tuesday, I'm taking my daughter for her learners, and it's my last day at work.
Excuses.
No, really. But
It's okay,
I'm gonna
I
try
didn't
my
show up.
best. I'm gonna try my best and grace you with my presence because I really need all the yoga I can get.
Kathy
A lot of
did
aligning to do.
a lot. Me too. Kathy
I'm
was
a bit of
doing
balance.
laughter yoga on Monday. She had her class yesterday.
Oh.
Getting ready for the show yesterday. We just happened to at the time just didn't happen. You have to represent Brandon. I do. It means I need to come on, do laughing yoga. My favorite part of her yoga was the chest beating for the tapping sessions, where I'm sitting there, auto account Brandon ability. Going live every day, fun. We might need to do that another day. I agree, Lisa. We're going to have you on another day just to have you work us out. And I have, last week, we had on Cootie. And Cootie is amazing, and he taught us all about juicing, and then he did like three powerful moves and three this, and everything was in threes. And we did a 3-second work or 3-minute 30-second workout 3 different times. Whew, got that out right. And we worked out and what got in there, and Ilse and I got jacked, and then we had to interview people out of breath. But Ilse, have you been doing your juicing?
I have not. I only got paid this morning. I was broke, guys. I was broke.
Honestly,
we survived. We didn't go hungry. We were looked after, but there was no money for juice. There was money for water. A lot of it out of the tap. and there was money for coffee and milk and exactly.
But you hear.
Exactly.
Thank you. Say it again.
Nobody has died
I'm going to listen.
Drinking water. There's some days we get luxuries, other days we don't. It's part of life. I mean, today we are king of the world again. I could pay my deposit on my place because I'm hyper independent. So I hate it when I have to ask somebody for money. So I'll rather just suffer.
But you know
because
what?
I don't want anybody to tell me, listen, I gave you money.
But you're through this now. You're on to that next phase. You're at the manifestation table.
I'm telling you, so this is...
Lisa's in the background, like, playing with us already. She's already like, all right, guys, we're going to stand up. We're going to do squats together. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and so be ready. Jessica in the back is, like, yelling, yeah! Like, I just picture her doing that. I picture, like, the Jacksons just sitting there going, woo, everywhere they go. Like, the whole thing in my head is in orchestra at all times. Brett Gordon started the Juice Cleanse last night, which is really cool. And Brett actually has a presentation tonight in Vegas to a bunch of business consultants and all that. He's actually going to be speaking and teaching them about his leadership program that he's a part of, and introducing the businesses to why it would be a very interesting thing for them to add on and a fun thing. But we also have a couple other things happening before we get into tonight, because tonight we have the H, which has an honest conversation about health, hemp, and happiness. And I'm actually having a guest on that is talking all about the cannabis plant. Since the 80s, he's been working with it. He's a doctor that focuses on finding all the cannabinoids, the benefits, like from smoking to edibles to oils to topicals to anything that you can think of. He's coming on to talk about why certain things and what to look for and how the cannabis plant can be better in the future. I might bring up psilocybin and talk about things like that, just because that's kind of my thing. But I really look forward to it. And I want everybody to make sure you join us this evening, 6 p.m. I'll be there having a great show. We're going to get another honest conversation about some things that people are confused on, and we want to break through these barriers together. Jessica Dugas is telling me 10 days, Brandon, 10 days. Do you know what happens in 10 days? Any idea?
Magic.
A pen. A pen.
A pen.
So in 10 days, now you're undressing? This is
Yes,
going to
but
be
it
the
is
most
it's
inappropriate show
extreme.
ever.
I've been, I don't know if I'm just
I,
getting old. I turned 40 in December, so I don't know if I'm just going through maybe early menopause or something. But I've been getting hot the whole day, and it's supposed to be cold, and then I've got my jacket on, and then I'm hot, and then I'm cold, and then my temperature has been all over the show. So just excuse me.
yeah, all of a sudden, you're going to be like in a tank top. Next thing we know, you're in a
I do have
parka.
a tank top underneath. I always come prepared. I
She's like,
always come prepared.
you never know what we're going to get here on the show. Like it's Wednesday. This is the middle of the week. We're humping our way through. Everybody do yourself a favor. It's hump day. At the end of the day, be like Ilse. Be in a tank top to find somebody to hump. Do not F Lisa at the end of this. Remember, she's here to help us, not F us. So please remember that. No inappropriate jokes. You see how I'm keeping it a PG joke? So PG standards today, not when I was a kid. Wait, newsflash, just in, FYI, newsflash, Pentagon to require troops to get COVID-19 vaccine ASAP. I'm not reading the rest of that, Brett, because that's opinion. Forcing military to be lab rats again. I will read that part because, truth be told, I don't have an opinion on this. We're not going to go down the vaccine thing because it triggers people and all that. I thank you for letting us know this is happening. For real, I really do. And yesterday, I know that Pfizer got approved for the FDA and their FDA approval. And look, if you want the vaccine, go get it. If you don't want the vaccine, don't go get it. At the end of the day, don't pressure me to do either thing. And when you ask me about it, I'm going to tell you, I don't know what I have, but the thing in my wallet says that I'm alive. It's my driver's license. So exactly. I'm here and I want to give the best to everybody. I have no sickness right now. I want to I love Mauve Carnation. He's yelling at me. He's yelling at me now. Do you see this? Mauve Carnation.
Don't yell at us.
Like
don't,
it's all
Mike.
caps. He's like, you bought
don't know what they are.
His wife probably bought him flowers, and he's giving me credit on a live show. And I'm sitting here going, I don't even know what these flowers are. What color are they, Mike? Are they white? Are they red? Are they blue? Are they yellow? Like, what color? So I know if I'm a friend. Am I a lover? Am I a what? Like
does that matter?
No. So we have Lisa coming up in a few minutes. She's going to be talking to us all about exciting things, from how to stay balanced to how to have accountability to how to get the best out of ourselves. Lisa has taught Jessica Dugas how to work out. Ilse, maybe I'm reading this wrong. What does this say? Look at this. I'm getting yelled at again.
You gotta say it with a little Boston. Wow. Well, I don't know what does Boston sound like.
It's funny. I'm gonna just keep. I was told
no. First, do the Boston accent. I need to know.
Jane
Boston
says
sounds.
Correct. Sorry, Boston accent. Excuse me. So you have water, and then you have water. You have quarter. Yeah. If you want to go get a water, you got to go down there and pay a quarter for the water. All right.
Oh, so it's just a little bit slang. It's just lazy to, almost like lazy to end the word properly. You gotta say it. I'm gonna say it.
I'm not gonna go with that because Boston, New York, Philadelphia, they don't like when you do those things. You better come to the U.S. and get a Philly cheesesteak pretty quick, because you never know when someone from Boston's gonna need a glass of water. And then you're gonna turn around.
I've got my own accent, so I don't really care about other people's. Everybody sounds awesome.
So I gotta emphasize this.
I'm gonna say everything you guys say funny.
Well, actually, I want to compliment you really quick. I was in a meeting yesterday, and the first compliment they gave about the show was about you. And they literally said, Ilse has such a positive energy. Her accent is adorable. Like, everybody loves her accent. And I'm like, well, she doesn't think she has an accent. And they're like, well, that's because she's there. I'm like, okay, my bad. But, like, you have gotten high praise. People are loving the energy you bring. And I just want to make sure you know what an influence you're leaving on people. Because, Ilse, you're effing amazing. but I have to do one thing. I hope you're ready for this, okay? This is about to get really interesting here. Are you ready?
Okay. I am.
On the count of three.
Oh, we're not exercising.
No. We're doing accountability.
Okay,
she's teaching us. Lisa's coming on to teach. Lisa's coming on to teach us how to F ourselves up and get ourselves on the right path. On the count of three, I want everybody to say hello to Lisa. 1, 2. Three. Hi, Lisa.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. I don't know. Hi.
Where are you located?
I'm in California.
Oh.
How did you work Jessica Dugas out in Alabama?
I'm talented. I'm like a magician.
see, all the women are doing it. They're just busy creating beautiful things out there.
I was told for my business, I need to look in the mirror and realize lean in on the feminine. That was by a card reading, that was by a Reiki reading, and by my hypnotherapist. When you get all three, it's like, shit, I got to do this. And leaning in on the feminine doesn't mean Bradley comes out of my alter ego and then woohoo. No, nothing like that. It's literally me coming out and saying, hey, women are fucking amazing. And they literally do insane shit. And to give them equality is not enough. We have to look at each other and say, I need you. You balance us. You keep us going. Lisa, you're in California, and women are effing magic. I just used my F word, so I can't say that. Lisa, you can
magic. Did I use mine?
Yes, you admitted you used yours.
How was this? Oh, crap. Everything's flowing so fast. I thought that was yesterday's show.
So you get one F word, Lisa, and we are. If you choose to use it, everything else is free game. But remember, there are people that have kids in the background, so don't just be like F this, S mother. Don't do that. We can't.
Nah, I'll keep it under control. Don't worry. I'll try my best.
Women are cool, but old guys rule. And that's coming.
Leave that one.
That's true.
I'll leave it.
I'll leave that one. So, Lisa, you are here to talk to us about accountability.
Yes.
You are here to talk to us about being our best selves. And I work out. I meditate. This morning has been one of my best mornings for me. Like, I woke up, I meditated, I stretched, I journaled, and then I ate a healthy breakfast.
I thought you were going to say you ate a cannoli, and I was going to be like,
I didn't. Well, I didn't say what I ate for breakfast. I just said
healthy.
Well, it had healthy in there. There was fruits, a little bit of peanut butter, and it was on top of maybe 3 pieces of pancakes.
I feel so guilty.
Look at her just walking out of the street.
I had French fries and chicken wings. No, chicken drumsticks. Chicken
wings?
Two chicken drumsticks, because there's a lot more meat on drumsticks. And chips with lots of spice and an energy drink. And about
an energy. What kind of energy drink? I'm like, hold on, are we talking nutrition or are we talking accountability? I'm like, what kind of energy?
No, this is accountability. This is me just going F the world today. I am just doing whatever the hell I want, because this is a new cycle. So I need to break my old cycles, and I'm starting to take accountability. But I just wanted one because it's the first time in a year that I've drank one since I stopped. So, and there was a new one on the market, and I like to know what it tastes like. And it's a juice one, so I didn't feel that bad. I know that defeats the whole object because they're all bad.
Why did you stop in the first place?
To drink?
I'm just
because it's not good for you. And I used to drink about 2 or 3 of those monsters a day, the big ones.
Brandon's face and my face are same.
Yes, and coffee and everything. So I have changed my life. I have changed my lifestyle so much over the past 3 years of things that I had to stop doing, and now it's the building part. So I'm like saying goodbye to all my bad cycles, because I smoke as well. So that is why it's a long journey. and we're almost
And
done.
it's-
We're almost done to where we want to be. So
I would say
I don't have a question. I've
I
got a
don't know.
statement.
You
That's
say
long
that,
one.
and I'm like, man, like look at all the hard work you've done over the past 3 years to like get your life, and then you really want to go down the slippery slope again and grab the energy drink and just like tumble down that? I'm just saying. Gateway drugs?
I can prove to you that I didn't even drink the whole one. There's like a
Well,
little
that's
bit.
okay. I don't need
I
trust you.
No, but that's what I said. I took a sip and I put it there. And I think I just wanted to taste. So I'll probably give it to somebody because I usually only drink coffee. I'm not a big fan of water. And just it's such that's why we're gonna
almost
try
used my one F-bomb. I'm gonna save it.
She's saving it. She's like, I got it. I love it. Well,
and I must say, in that 3 years, I've almost lost about after my after my daughter was born 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago, I weighed about 85 kilograms.
Oh,
and
girl, I'm in America. I can't do that conversion.
I sound so much.
I'm a fitness instructor. I count to 8, my friend.
My weight sounds so much more, and everything when I converted that it actually scares me because I'm not used to that. And then I think 233, so it takes a lot for my mind to comprehend that as well and work it back. It's yeah, so don't even worry.
When are you going to stop smoking?
I have cut down from smoking full pack, a packet of 20s a day, like not skip a day. I found these cigarettes, they're the cheapest cigarettes on the market and they're disgusting. I can only take 1 or 2 drags and then I put it in the ashtray and then I forget to smoke. So when I feel like a cigarette, I'll light and take 2 drags and then I go like, oh, this is disgusting. Then I put it out. So I don't know. I think I've got no idea when I can. That's like been the biggest addiction that I've had because I've been smoking since I'm 13, since the age of 13. Yes.
That's a hard one too because then you have to be careful that it doesn't lead to like a cross addiction with something else.
Yes, because
him raising his hand. He's like, I'm in school right now.
I'm taking accountability for all my shit. I have done so much shit. Brandon, go, please, because I'm like, I need to stop being so honest. No.
How can I be more accountable for Ilse without being a pain in the ass? Because sometimes when people are accountable, they come across as annoying and it pushes people in the wrong direction. Now, I'm using myself as the example so we don't make fun of Jessica Dugas, but how can I help keep them accountable without being a jerk?
I think for me, it's having a safe space to land. You know what I mean? Like you have to feel like you can tell that person what's going on and it's coming from a place of like no judgment. You know that if I say these things to this person, they're not going to be like, you're making a bad decision. Hurry down.
Well, I'm going to get you to laugh now a lot. You're in trouble, Lisa.
You know what I mean, though? Because I've been in the fitness industry full time since 2012. I started in the fitness industry in 2007. And what I have found as a fitness instructor is people will really lay like all their things on you. Like I'm everyone's therapist and I love that. I don't think that that's a bad thing at all because it shows me that they trust me. Like, look at, we're 5 minutes in and she's like, I do this and I do this and I do this. And look at, I do this. And I thought I was working out today, but I wore boots.
Lisa's like sitting there.
I forgot we were working out and I didn't.
Jessica, what did you get me into?
Come back.
I love it. She's like, but like, I love what Ilse is saying because she's being raw, vulnerable, and honest. Yeah. And she's talking about like my face with the energy drinks. That's because when I was a landscaper and doing like physical labor all the time. Oh, you do, but I couldn't stand it. It ate apart my insides to where like I had heartburn just thinking of an energy drink. And it was like horrible. And coffee, today is the first day I haven't had coffee since I remember. Like I drink a lot of coffee, 1 to 2 cups a day. That's it. But like the rest of the day is water and maybe one pop here and there. And the pop is really faded out. And what's amazing to me was when I did cut pop out, I lost weight like crazy.
Oh yeah. You know how much sugar is in that?
No, tell me, even though I do.
Like way too much for your own good. But then what that impacts other areas of your life, because then you get addicted to the sugar, but then you need the sugar from other sources as well. And I mean, let's be honest. I'm not going to eat the thing that's healthy for me because it doesn't taste as good. I'm going for the cookie. Like, come on, it tastes better. So that's where I'm going to go towards. But then what I look at more is, why do you need the sugar in the first place? Are you tired? Why are you tired? Are you not sleeping enough? Are you not working out enough to burn off that excess energy? Are you having too much caffeine later in the day? You know, what else is going on in your life besides just this one little thing? There is someone, I will not name said person because he's extremely well known. And what he says is, if you want to get in shape, go work out. Well, if it were only that easy. There's so many other factors that come into play with it. And all of it is your relationship with those things and why you have that relationship with those things. And then how kind you're willing to be to yourself about those relationships.
True. Very true. And I agree with you, because how many times are you willing? Like, get up, go do it. Like this morning, my alarm went off. Do you know how easy it is to go snooze? Like,
right there with you, because I already worked out this morning. It's 7:42 in California. I'm already done with my first workout of the day. I woke up this morning. I have 2 corgis. Jessica knows because she's met them virtually. And one of them snuggled up next to me. I don't want to get out of bed. I'm like comfortable. He's snuggly.
I didn't want to wake up this morning.
Like, okay, so here's my thing. First off, get the corgis. I need to see one before you leave.
Please.
They're on a walk. They're taking my daughter to school. God bless my husband for taking my daughter.
I was like, do the corgis walk themselves back after, or is there somebody with the dogs?
The girl corgi for sure would. She would come back. She would be here. The boy corgi would be like, I'm going to go live my best life. It's spring break right now.
I love
Go for it. The gate's open.
The gate's open. Come home when you're ready. So with keeping each other accountable, though, we have pops like this. Like, I love Jane jumping in here. Jane says she cut way down on pop, and it helped have her keep off 50 to 70 pounds for 3 years now. And the truth is, it really does that. And I have to look, this is just, maybe it's just me, but if I have a pop, I notice the next day that I start to want other things that aren't as good. It's like that one bad decision leads to another. All of a sudden, next thing I know, I go from having a pop to I want the cake. I want the cannoli. Maybe instead of eating a salad with grilled chicken, I'll order a cheeseburger with chili fries. Like things like that. Right. Next thing you know, I'm out back buying Coke from the random dealer and all that. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
He literally went from 0 to 60. He's like, I went from a cheeseburger to a meth addict. Like, that just jumped. It just, I don't even.
Life's hard, man. Life's hard.
I wanted to catch everyone off guard with that one. But I make that a joke because of the fact that sugar is literally the same thing. You're triggering a chemical in your body that is 70 times more stronger than what cocaine would do to you, and you don't even realize it because it's legal. So with that being said, that pop, even though mine's water, that pop that you drink is triggering an addiction in you that maybe we don't even know, and that's just going to be the first thing. Like when I see Ho-Ho's, Swiss cake rolls on but to go, they put Reese's cups and all those things there on purpose because it's a grab and go quick thing. It's not healthy. The bananas are all rotten. Why are they rotten? Because people like me buy them once a week when I need gas. Well, so how can I help get more people accountable? I want to just start throwing bananas at people in line at the grocery store, but I got in trouble for that last time.
The thing is that like you can't hold someone else accountable. They have to do it for themselves. That's really where the struggle lies. And what I teach my clients, Jessica can attest to this. So Jessica and I met because I was a guest on her podcast. Can we talk about the role of being an account? Yes, for sure. I can do that. Oh, dang.
I know. She wrote you a book.
Well, I'm like a tightrope walker.
Like, yeah. Like, she's like, how
That's
you...
the longest sentence. I'm not awake enough. For me, when I coach people, it's teaching them how to hold themselves accountable. And it starts with very tangible things. So like for workouts, for instance, and this is what I would encourage your audience to do, because we're all busy adults. Like, let's be honest, we're not independently wealthy yet. We're working on it. So when you go to work out, what I notice, free of judgment, is a lot of people will go, I'm going to work out today. Just blanket statement. And then what happens is you have to get your kids to school. You have laundry that needs to get done. You probably have work that needs to get attended to on a professional level. Your spouse needs something. You have 6 errands to run. Did you seriously just throw me at someone? That's funny. You have all these other things that are demanding of your time, and the workout just keeps getting like ticked down the priority list.
Correct.
For me, that doesn't mean like, oh, you need to wake up at 5 a.m. and work out. Bet I'm not doing that. If the sun's not up, I'm not up. Okay. I learned that lesson from the Frozen movie that I've seen 6,000 million times, whatever it is. You need to make it be realistic for your life. So Brandon, if you were like, yeah, I really like to work out in the afternoon, that's like my golden time. Cool. Then I would want you to grab your calendar and mark that time out like it's a doctor's appointment, like it's a work meeting, like it's something that your parent-teacher conference for your kid. Something that is, I know, right? I have those in a couple weeks. Something that is of equal value to you.
Yeah.
You wouldn't cancel on that.
No.
But what you're building is a habit of not canceling on yourself. And then what I take a step further is don't just have the time planned out. Like, I'll get all deep into the weeds with this because as adults, we need to take some of the thinking out of it in the planning phase.
Correct.
So it's about having that intention and having that purpose and having that thought behind it. So, okay, you know you're going to work out. You have that time blocked out. And don't ignore the damn calendar. Word, girl. Set alerts for the freaking calendar. God, the Apple Watch and the thing, everything beeps. You can't tell me you don't have something that will beep and alert at you that it's time to go and do the thing. But take it a step further. And don't even tell me you don't have time to plan this, because I know on a Sunday night, you sit and chill and watching Netflix. Yes. Disney Plus, Hulu, you're scrolling. If you have the average woman scrolls through social media for 2 to 3 hours every single day. You can't tell me that you can't take 20 minutes of that and plan your workouts for the week. There's no way. Instagram is not that interesting. I blame Jessica from my TikTok addiction. But I've learned things from that platform. So
Me
okay.
Me too.
Me too. So don't just plan out when you're going to work out. Plan out what you're going to do. So that if you say, okay, I have an hour, that's being real generous. I have an hour. Don't spend 20 minutes scrolling through YouTube trying to figure out what you're going to do. Yes, student in the back.
I was never the student in the back.
No, they put me right in front.
Yep. Brandon was the front in the middle. And I was sitting right next to the 2 A students so I wouldn't distract them. Like, that was my whole life. Even in college, they're like, Brandon, up front. I'm like, oh. So the question was going to be, what about, like, your schedule, Lisa? Like, I'm asking a very open-ended question. You can say it's none of your damn business, but, like, your schedule, do you have it like structured out there where it's like, okay, wake up, throw kids in bath, wake husband up to walk dogs to school with kids? Like, is it like structured like that? And then like, it's like workout here and like what workout you're going to do. So you build that. Cause like my calendar on Sundays, I build Like Monday, every morning, I have the alarm go off, and when it goes off, the first thing that comes up is a meditation. So all I have to do is hit it, and it goes right to it.
Oh, I love that.
My whole calendar has to be built like that. I'm told it's like people see it, and they're like, "Oh, your calendar's got so many colors on it." They mentioned it does look like the Ninja Turtles because it has only red, blue, green, and orange. And I'm like, I don't have much purple in there, and I know Donnie's missing, so I need that because it helps me know. And then when I don't get it and I clear it off, I know I screwed myself. I took away from me. How does Lisa's calendar look?
My calendar is maybe not that anal retentive, which is different. He's like, oh, gee. Some people need that level. And I'm here for everybody is different. That's the beauty about fitness and about wellness and all of this is that what works for me might not work for you, but it's a matter of figuring out what works for you. That works for you. Keep doing that. Mine doesn't have that much of a breakdown. I pretty much am at the point now where I know with my schedule. So I train out of my house. I also train out of a brick and mortar, and then I train virtually.
Okay.
So I'm on like 3 different levels with that, but I know when those things basically speaking are going to happen. So I know when to plug my workouts in accordingly. And I will say this too, for everyone watching, please remember that I get paid to work out. So my workout schedule is going to look significantly different from the average humans because I get paid to do this. And I hold myself accountable by having like this unsaid contract with myself that I will not train someone on something I have not put myself through. I will not put you through a workout I have not done myself. I don't think that that's fair for a variety of reasons. For one, if you're going to be in the pain cave, I need to be in there with you. Conversely, if you're going to be on the struggle bus, I need to be driving it. For 2, me moving my body in that way helps me figure out how you're feeling, how your body is feeling it, how your breath is, all those things, which helps me tune into cueing you more effectively while we're working out.
I'm not a big fan of going to the gym. I've just had
Neither am I. I hate the gym.
Had bad experiences. And I'm also not a person that likes to do the same thing every day.
Same.
This I like doing because I enjoy it. So I'll sit here the whole day, but like exercise. The only thing that I started liking was CrossFit. But because I had a friend there. So and after he passed away, I just didn't have the need to go back there because I didn't want to go because I'm not into fitness. What can I do or exercises extra so that I don't have to go to the gym but can still be toned? Because that's my problem.
Fair. My first certification ever was in the CrossFit industry. I got certified to be a CrossFit instructor. That was my first one. And I left that community in complete transparency because the competitive aspect of that community was a huge turnoff for me.
Okay.
Huge. It was not my jam at all. I truly do believe that if you are showing up and you are giving your absolute best today, whatever that looks like right now, you've already won. And for me, it's more about how are you building that healthy habit? Because this is all mental, right? If you get into a workout and you're like, man, I am an Olympian, you're more likely to show up the next day. Yes, I am Captain America. Captain Marvel. I just watched all those movies. I don't know. If you show up to your workout and you're like, holy moly, I am the conductor of the struggle train, you're less likely to show up, especially if your incentive to show up is because you had a friend who was there and then the friend is no longer there. So my biggest piece of advice to people with that is think about exercise. What sounds interesting? Not like, oh yeah, I want to do this, but you're like kind of intrigued by it. Even if you're slightly intimidated by it. What sounds like, I'm curious. You don't have to answer. I'm not like putting you on the spot or anything.
Okay, because I'm trying to think now.
I know that for me, my exercise is different than others. I love to be able to just like, I have to be outside. So for me, it could be, I go play, you're going to laugh at me. I could be spinning fire because I spin fire as a hobby. And that's like it's my own world. And it really is. It's the only thing I really do that I don't really show everybody. And it's such a workout because you're moving such different parts of your body to move things around. But like, if I drop it, like it just slips from being sweaty and stuff like that. Oh, I do a dragon step. So it's 6 foot tall. It rolls all over my body without hands. So like, if I drop it, I have to do push-ups or I have to do squats. I have to do something. So that way I don't want to drop it. It's tiring my body out. That's my workout. And it's different because of the fact that, yeah, it's just out of the box. It's different. It's for me. I have weights here. I have yoga mats. I love to go do different things. But my biggest thing is I want to be outside.
I know, like yoga. I like doing yoga. That is one appointment that I don't miss.
There you go.
I totally went to pick on you. You didn't even hear it, Ilse. Like,
I didn't even hear you either. What did you say?
She said, I like yoga. I said, nobody asked. Like, I was totally
that sounds like, what?
Jessica
usually nobody asks. I just tell them. Like, maybe this is some useful information to you.
No. But Lisa, when Lisa said that, when I told Lisa I didn't like a certain exercise, Lisa said, then don't do it. And I picture being.
This is how I knew Jessica Dugas. I'm digressing, but you guys will appreciate it because there is a story behind this, and I feel like y'all like your stories. Surprise for Lisa. Yeah. Yes! Yay! Yay! See,
wow. That's amazing.
Okay. Well, now I have two thoughts. First, the reason why I knew Jessica Dugas and I were going to be friends was when we were recording her podcast. I made a side comment that I say this when I teach people that if you see me running, you better start running because I'm being chased.
I feel the same.
And the reason, and I say that out of jest and because it's funny, because I get the reaction from Brandon that I get and that makes me laugh. But the reason for that, in all seriousness, is I was in the military. I was in ROTC. I went in right after September 11th. And when I was in the military, I shattered, fractured, and dislocated my right foot, and I didn't walk for a year. A whole year. Look at your faces. It's fine. We're well past that. I'm going to be 27 until I die. So you can do that math for how long ago that injury was. You're like, this is some calculus. I don't get it.
Nobody said I have to do maths today.
I need to write this one down.
There's letters. As soon as they threw letters into math, I was out.
Tap out, sister. Tap out.
But it was a tremendous opportunity for me to find my health in a way that truly worked for me, that wouldn't cause me further injury, that would keep me having a good quality of life where I could show up to the things that required me to show up every day. And then what it turned into was, how do I empower people to do the same? Because if I've been given this opportunity, I'm doing nothing if I'm just sitting on it, not sharing it with people. Oh, thank you. My husband is active duty as well, and he's been in for 15 years. So we thank him more than we thank me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that. And part of being accountable is finding those things that work for you and being okay and letting your ego go that what works for you might not work for somebody next to you. He wants to go spin fire on a stick. I don't ever in my whole life.
You made it sound so much different. He wants to spin a stick that's on fire.
He goes, I don't ever want to do that.
I've got a friend that also likes doing that. She says it makes her, it balances her chakras when she spins the fire because she's a fire sign as well. So,
okay.
Maybe
that's why, because I'm pretty sure I'm a water sign. I'll be in the pool all day. I'll count surfing as I'm in California and I'm 20 minutes from the beach, y'all. So I will count surfing as a workout. All those things. I would much rather do that. What I
Me
would
too.
do for Brandon,
Well,
though,
not surf because I can't surf.
because he says when you drop your stick, you have to do something. Something. Yeah, squats. But is it like a straight? So here's my question: is it like a straight number of squats and push-ups?
20 usually.
Why 20? That seems weak. Like no.
Because I can count higher than 8.
I can do it. Okay, so no,
It's a workout though.
No,
It's
seriously.
meant to be challenging. That's why when you hit, when you do 20, and then all of a sudden you're spinning again and it drops again, and then I have to do another 20, it's like 40 instead of it being like 8, 8, 8, or 10, 10, 10. I do 20 just to make sure that I hit the 20 mark every time. It's meant to push me. I
like that. Can I encourage you to switch it up?
Unfortunately, your time is up, Lisa. Gotta go. Tell me this, and then let us know your social media, because I think we need you back in 2 weeks to actually work us out. Would you be willing to do that?
Yes, as long as my husband can take my child to school. I will have to check because he is going to be traveling here soon for his job.
Yeah,
so I'll coordinate with Jessica. I'm like, nah, I have her phone number. I'll stalk her.
I love it. I do too. Go ahead. Stalk her like I do.
So this is what I would encourage you to do, because you like being outside. You like your one type of workout. What I would encourage you to do is switch it up, because you want to feel like you're doing something. You want to feel like you're being challenged. You want to see the progression of your strength so that what you're liking to do becomes more efficient and easier, but it's never going to be easy. What I would encourage you to do is switch up what you're actually doing, how you're actually doing your push-ups. So I would throw in an interval.
Time was up.
Look at, he's like,
no, you froze. I missed it because you froze.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's weird. The interwebs. We love and hate it. There's no one I'd rather be stopped by. You're welcome. I would encourage you to do a Tabata set instead of a straight 20. Do you know what a Tabata is?
No, but I'm hungry now.
Right? It sounds like a torta, but not, well, I'm in California. It sounds, but it's not. So 20 seconds of work at your max effort, followed by 10 seconds of rest. Traditionally, Tabata is done as an 8 to 10 round workout. Some people can use that as a standalone workout. You could use that as a warm-up or a finisher. You could also use that as your form of punishment during your workout, because that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Instead of doing, so 8 to 10 rounds, that's the breakdown is like 4 to 5 minutes. Instead of doing, I know, and it will hand you your own butt. Instead of doing the full 8 to 10 rounds, I would do start with 4. Instead of doing your straight 20 reps.
Okay. Start with 4
rounds. When you drop your thing, any exercise too. It can be, it can be push-ups, it can be squats, and then let the speed be determined by how good your form is.
Can I be speed dancing?
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, you're outside. I'm imagining cars driving by, unless you're like in your backyard.
No, I'm actually, so you're going to laugh at me. I have a spot in the woods I go that is right by the water, and it's a hiking path, but a lot of people don't know of it. And it's got this big cement block that was put there for some God-known reason. And I've never seen anybody else using this thing. So I just go stand on that. It's in the middle of a few bushes, so cars driving by don't see me. People walking by spot me and usually say hi and stop and watch me for a second, even if they don't hear any music. And it's not on fire at that. It's just me practicing. And it's just my own little world. And so, yeah, I love how you're like, just get out there. And then, because that 20 seconds can be me going up and down, doing a jog up the pathway right there. It could be me doing the push-ups off the bench that's right there. 100%. I love where your head's at.
Squats, whatever. And have it be what works the best for you. If you're doing the push-ups and you're on your toes and you're like, oh, this is sucking, come down onto your knees. There's no shame in that. I know, but there's no shame in that. And then what I would encourage you to do, ma'am, for your yoga is book that into your calendar. 3 days a week. Just start with 3.
Okay. No, make it 4.
And
Lisa, make it 4. You know why? Do you know why I say 4?
Why?
So if you do one more, That's 4. I have all 4 Ninja Turtles on my arm specifically to remind me if I do 4 of the things I have my goals for every week, that means you'll get 150 extra days of positive that you didn't plan on in a year.
Wow.
Okay, so then I'm gonna take that because I like that, and then I'm gonna switch it. So 4, but you don't have to do an hour. If you have 30 minutes, do 30.
Okay.
If it's a 20-minute session, do 20. Do 45. Whatever works the best for you.
I'll have enough time from the 1st of September to work it in. I'm moving on the 1st of
September.
And it's spring, so I've got a lot. Yeah, but I'm moving from where I'm living now, and I'm working and everything, so it just gets too much. So I want to. I am starting to wean myself into it. But
fair, and I know moving is a lot, and it can throw you for a loop. So September 1st.
So September 1st.
And Brandon's going to check in with you.
No, yes.
He's going to make sure that you have it booked into your time, and whatever time of day works.
I'm checking in on you. Lisa, what is your Instagram so I can have everybody go follow you, give you a subscribe, and sign up to get into the F Lisa program? The proper Lisa.
Jessica Dugas told me to tell you to drop and give me 50. I said I can't do that until I know you better. Now I feel like I know you guys, and so next time, game on.
Can I do 50 by the time I see you next time?
I don't know when I'm going to see you next time, so it feels like
2
that's
weeks.
a long time.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
if your husband can come, we can do that.
Yeah.
Even if he can't, have the kids on air with you.
I do have to get her to school. I feel like they get mad if you don't take them.
Well, the school gets mad, but yeah. Lisa, what is your Instagram?
My Instagram is at Lisa Peranzo. So it literally is my name. My website is www.ahealthfullife.org. And that is also my YouTube channel. And I have free workouts up on my YouTube channel, everything from HIIT stuff to mat Pilates work, some of it body weight, some of it no weight at all, but it's all stuff that you can do out of your home. Now, you have to subscribe to said channel in order to gain access to all the videos, because I don't have all of them up there.
Makes sense.
But what I will also offer, because I love you guys and I feel like your audience is equally as rad as you, if your audience members looking and flexing, I don't know what that is actually.
I'm actually dancing.
Look at her flex though. Dang, girl. Okay.
No, don't let me do anything. She's the one that's like.
I might not have a very good diet and a whatever and everything, but I still get some exercise in and I do stuff. So
and don't beat yourself up for it. This is a long game. You have to think of it that the habits that you put into place that don't serve you are not going to go away overnight. It's going to take time. You said it's been 3 years. That's fantastic. You're on your way. And don't discount that effort and all the little victories that you've had in the meantime. But I'll end on this. If your audience listening today is like, oh, I kind of like her, like I want to see what she's about or how she could tweak my stuff, I will give them healthful, not helpful, health.
Oh, healthful. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I will give them 20% off of coaching for the first 3 months. Private coaching.
Wow, that's amazing.
Because my goal is to help as many people as I possibly can find their health and their wellness in a way that works for them, so that when they're done working with me, they have everything that they need to keep going without me.
I have to be honest, Lisa, you came in, you rocked this. You talked to us about your dogs and your husband, how you have to kick them out the house so they go to school. Like
That's why it's quiet right now. Sorry.
I love it. I love it. You have been amazing. I hope you can come back in 2 weeks. Yes. I will talk to Jessica Dugas. You will talk to Jessica Dugas. But everybody, go follow Lisa. It is right here. But her website is incorrect there. It's the one that has the 20%. This is the correct website. Go give her a like and a follow.
Yes. And reach out to me in my DMs. I'm the only one who answers my DMs. So if you have questions, whatever, I encourage the conversation. Start talking.
Slide into her DMs, guys.
Not
Make sure
like a
you.
creeper. Don't be that guy. I get those guys. It's a hard block. Okay, so don't
I
be weird.
know.
It's a hard block.
I don't think they realize what messages women or people
No.
from weird people on social media.
What?
Horrible.
I'm going to love you in 1 second. I'm going to teach you where the clock is. We're 10 minutes late for Josh. He's back there looking at me, yelling at me. He's like,
Sorry, Josh. I don't know. You're sorry.
Lisa, you were amazing.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
being here. Guys, please go give her a follow. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Brandon, and over the past year, the Delight Cafe team and I have traveled across the U.S. researching this rapidly growing industry of CBD products. What we have found throughout the industry were products that were inconsistent in dosage and used ingredients that weren't even lab tested. Products with chalky textures, bitter aftertaste, and worst of all, confusion among the CBD consumers. That's why we created Delight Cafe. A 15 milligram, lab-tested, all-natural, water-soluble hemp CBD powder pack. It's odorless, colorless, and tasteless. Add it to your favorite drink of choice, wherever, whenever, on the go. Quickly find your calm, your balance, your delight when you need it most.
And we're back. So we are honored because our next guest is Mr. Joshua Kalinowski. And if I mispronounce that, Josh, I got a thumbs up. Hell yeah. High five, Brandon. All right. So Josh is going to, yeah. So Josh has established himself as a successful entrepreneur, CEO of multiple companies, podcaster, author of the international best-selling book, Strike 3, What to Do When the Game is Over, But Life is Not. I absolutely love the title. I have stalked his social media. I have already sent a request to be connected with him on LinkedIn. He is a former professional athlete. He knows how to take a risk and practice discipline and create a vision to overcome challenges in the pursuit of dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, please do me a huge favor and welcome Josh. I'm just going to go Josh so I don't F it up this time. Boom!
Sounds good, man.
Josh, how are you, my friend?
Good. Great to be here. And thanks for having me on.
Oh, we are honored you're here. So first off, what position did you play?
I was a left-handed pitcher.
A left-handed pitcher? Oh, who did you play for?
A little southpaw there. I was fortunate to have the opportunity to play for the Colorado Rockies and spent a little bit of time with the Boston Red Sox.
Oh, so did you hear our conversation about Boston earlier?
I missed that one.
How's
I
my
missed it, but we were
accent?
talking about I heard all about the accent, so I did get a little bit of that part. So it's okay. I don't take any offense to it.
I was dying. She's like, what is a Boston accent? And Ilse is in South Africa, so that made it so much fun for me. Oh, and then you got Jessica coming in here, Go Sox, and she welcomes you to the show and then spells Go Sox. Like, now, I'm an Indians fan, but I do like the Rockies. I'm not going to give you credit for the Red Sox. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. It's not in me. Like if you said Yankees, I'd be even worse. But
Yes.
Now, being a professional athlete, you probably had people your whole life going, oh, yeah, wanting to be your friend, wanting to be around you. Oh, professional, celebrity, whatever.
Yeah.
You have to adapt to that. And then all of a sudden it's over. How do you make such a drastic change and keep Josh going?
Right. Well, I think that's the biggest problem, right? Is that you identify yourself as this professional athlete. And, what I refer to in the book is basically what ends up happening is when you take the jersey off, you've taken off your entire identity. And so if you really don't know who you are, if you don't really know what you stand for, if you don't know really what your greater purpose is in life, unfortunately, when the jersey comes off, so does everything that you know of yourself. And you're really left as a shell of a person. And really, so this book really, what I really wanted to get out there with this book was just letting people know, like, we all feel like we're on an island by ourselves when we're going through these challenges in our life, these big drastic changes. As I started having conversations with people, what I realized is that wasn't just about athletes. It was military men and women. They've been serving their country for 20 years, and then they get into civilian life, and they're like, this is nothing like what the life is that I've created over the last 20 years, right? It's people that go through divorce and they're going like, wait a second, like I spent 17 years of my life with this purpose and this person, and I no longer have that anymore, right? Or they experienced a tragedy in their life, or a new job, a new career. And really, so what I wanted to do is help people walk through the 13 years that it took for me to discover, listen, I wasn't built or made for baseball. It just happened to be a part of my life, part of my chapter. I was built for something far greater than that. And in each and every one of us are built for something far much greater than what we've experienced in life so far. That was just a simple chapter in our life. And if we looked at it that way, boy, we'd be enabled and we'd be empowered to tackle that next thing in our life.
I was actually thinking, sorry for interrupting, I was actually thinking about that when I drove to Pretoria, I think a lot of people have those big strikes in their life that just completely changes your outlook on life. What was your three that made you write this book, that got you where you are today?
Yeah. Well, I would say it's more than three things that really ended up happening. But I will tell you, one of the biggest things that happened to me is I was just searching, right? I was just constantly searching, like, okay, I know that I'm not a failure. I know that I did have failure in my life, but I know that I am not a failure. And I got to this point one time where I went on this on a men's retreat, super physically hard, mentally hard, emotionally exhausting. But basically what it did is it just broke you down to your core, right? You just got to the point where your true rawness came out. And we went through this just an amazing experience where we went through this meditation, and I'm a man of faith. And through that experience, I got to have this conversation with my maker, right? And I literally asked this question that had been inside of me, that was just buried, that I had no idea even existed, right? And my question was simply this: like, why did you take it away? Like, why did you take away what I thought you had created me for? Right. And in my weakest moment, in my most desperate time, I had no idea that I was going to get an answer. I had no expectation, nor was I deserving of one. I simply just heard these words that came back to me. He says, like, Joshua, like, you were created for far greater things. Like, baseball is just a chapter in your life that will now serve you and your greater purpose. And I will tell you, like, we all want to hear that affirmation, right? Like, we all want, like, our parents to give us affirmation in life. We want our spouse or those people that are around us. We love that affirmation. But to hear it, especially as a man of faith, to hear it from the creator, your creator, it's just like, okay, I wasn't an accident. I wasn't a mistake. I didn't screw up the rest of my life.
I'm not a bad person.
Exactly, right? And we are the toughest. We have the hardest conversations with ourselves. We talk to ourselves in ways that we would never let anybody talk to us, or we would never let anybody talk to our children that way, for that matter, right? But we've unfortunately given ourselves permission to do that to ourselves. And so this is really that discovery of going, okay, if I'm not a mistake, if I didn't just do the greatest failure in my life, then what is this going to serve for me now? And it gave me the freedom, really, it gave me the freedom to just go and pursue and take chances and do things that, well, if I fail again, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Right?
Yeah.
And I think that we're intimidated by the word failure, and we're not realizing that, okay, failure, it's tough. It's painful. It makes you take steps back. But you know what? It can make you give the greatest leaps forward in this future that you're really desiring to achieve.
So, Josh, with that being said, you're out there, you're speaking again, you're doing these things. We're seeing the world start to open back up a little bit here and there. How has COVID been able to, like, that had to hit you in a way that was just like a southpaw, like for real, like out of left field on that, where all of a sudden everything you've been working on gets stopped, just like everybody else. How did you keep yourself going in a direction that knew you were worth more, that knew you were going to be making a difference?
Yeah. No, I think it's a fantastic question, because I think a lot of people found themselves in this uncertainty of, like, first of all, you don't know, for those of you that were impacted in your industry, you don't know, like, gosh, is my industry. So one of the industries that we had was real estate. And we're going, like, is real estate going to be the same? Right? I mean, what are we going to do if everybody's locked in their houses? How are they going to purchase? How are they going to move? How are they going to go? So we had to learn to adapt, and we adjusted in that. And in fact, real estate, as you all know, no matter where you're at right now, is absolutely insane, because people have understood, like, okay, I need more space. Like, we're going to start working at home. I need a backyard now, right? Like, apartment life has become a big challenge for people because they've realized, like, this is not the way that I want to live life if I'm going to be cooped up like this, right? And so priorities have definitely shifted. And of course, now that's why real estate is such a healthy market right now. But one thing that I would tell you that we ended up doing is that we looked at this as a moment for us to step in and lean into it. We realized that, like, listen, everything that we've struggled with in the past, everything that we've gone through with our growth and our expansion and contraction, like, we were made for this. We were built for this moment, and we have got to lead from the front. And so our whole motto last year was faith over fear. We have to have faith within ourselves that we can be the leaders now, because so many people are not stepping into that space. And, listen, how many people talk about being a leader, right? You guys are all around people. You guys are interviewing leaders. You just had Lisa, who is awesome. What a great leader in her industry, right? But when things get tough, that's when the true leaders step in. They step up and they raise their hand and they're like, listen, I'll take the bullet. I'm going to lead the pack here. You just got to hold on, because we're going forward here. Right. So what an awesome opportunity. I think it gives those that truly are the leaders that we have in our world to actually rise above.
How do you inspire yourself in the morning so that you can inspire other people?
Yeah, I tell you what, this is one of the things I talk about in the book is one of the multiple cups that you have to continue to fill, right? You have to fill the cups of other people. You have to fill the cups of those that you're leading. But most certainly, the first thing that you have to do is fill your cup. And, one of the things I really loved about what you guys were talking about with that health and fitness is that each one of us is different. I know you talked about yoga, right? That fills your cup, that inspires you, that makes you feel comfortable, that makes you feel full of life, right? Brandon, you're talking about, you like to spin fire, right? And I get imagine, like, with no pun intended when I say this, but that's your flame work. That's the thing that excites you, right? And so we all have to be able to, first of all, identify that, but then also give ourselves permission that that's our uniqueness. Right. One of the great leaders within our company, and I know you guys were, Lisa was kind of talking about this, but one of the great things in our, one of our gals in our company, one of the things that she loves to do is she loves to watch Netflix. Like, that's her relaxing moment. That's like, she's got a series that she gets to do and she gets to enjoy and just kind of like get that exhale, right? Filling her cup is to be able to watch it. Now, like anything that we do in life, obviously we can do it unhealthy. So you have to have temperament to that. If you're going to do yoga 7 days a week, that would probably be relatively unhealthy for your body, right? Or Brandon, if all you did was spin fire, that would probably be unhealthy because it would detract from the things that were important to you in your life. Maybe your family, maybe these businesses that you have, right? All these other responsibilities that you've put on your shoulders that are important. We have to have that balance in life. And part of that is, once again, just finding out, how do you take self-care of yourself? How do you overflow your cup? And so for me, as much as I am a person of complete regiment, I love variety in my regiment.
Yes.
So every quarter, and I just got done doing this, I blow up my schedule. I look at my schedule and say, okay, this is no longer serving this chapter in my life. Right. This is no longer, this is the season right now where I can actually spend more time in this area of my life, in this area of my life. One of the things that we talk so much about, so I've got the Hat Kingsmen and our Man-Made. This is a group that we have for men. And really the whole thing about it is just like, it's a group of men that give a shit about life. I don't know if I can cuss, but just FYI.
You actually can cuss as much as you like, but you only get one F word. All right.
You don't have to worry about me saying the F word. So,
see, that's the one we cheer for.
Well, you should have seen you should have seen my meme to our small group today. So it did have the F word in it today. So
maybe I'll let you bring that up at the end.
Okay, I can do it. It's actually a really good one. But the thing that we talk about often is we believe that there's 5 foundational pieces in everybody's lives that are super important and you should really be paying attention to. So one is the basis of this foundation is faith. Right, faith in a spiritual being, of course, is we feel like that's a healthy thing, but equally as important is faith in yourself. Like, if you haven't established that faith in yourself to go out and do challenging things and go out there and achieve greatness in your life, it's just not going to happen, right? You got to be confident, right? So you have faith, The next thing is family, because that is so important, whether you actually have a spouse or you have children, but who's the people that you consider family? And here's the thing is it doesn't have to be blood related. There's so many people in our life that we consider family because of the relationship that we have built with them through the years, right? So we have faith, we have family, we have fitness. You guys were talking about that today and how important that vitality is in your life, because if you do not have health in your life, it is so hard to show up for people, right? It's so hard to have the energy. It's so hard to be positive when you're in just constant pain and agony, and you've got, let's just say you got diabetes, or let's just say that you're just, as Brandon, you're talking about, you're drinking sodas. Dude, that stuff is just stealing your energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Faith, family, fitness, finance, because money is important, right? You could do amazing things with money. So we have to stop apologizing that we should be going out and pursuing money, right? It's the love of money that's bad. Money is not bad. There are some amazing things that happen with money, right? And the feeling that you get from it. So, and then the last thing is future. So you have faith, family, fitness, finance, and future. And
I like that.
And the reason why we have future in there is because how many of us constantly are thinking about our future? How many of us are just now take that time to just dream of what life could look like in 2 years or 5 years or 10 years and what you want to accomplish, right? We do such an amazing job of that when we were children, when we're growing up, right? We daydream all the time about like, I'm going to be an astronaut, or I'm going to be president of the United States, or I'm going to be a professional baseball player, whatever it is, right? You dream about these things that are just, they're just big ass goals, right? Mm-hmm. Become an adult, you learn that you're not supposed to do that, or that you're not at least supposed to share it, because there's such negativity around that. Like, really? You think so? I mean, gosh, last time I checked, you didn't have the education to do that. Or like, really, how are you going to do that? Because how are you going to have the time, or do you really even have the finances to even do that? So we have
people that put limitations on you.
Say it again.
People that put limitations on you.
Yes, right. Absolutely. And we end up taking ownership of that, and we believe it. And so we learn to not talk about these things that excite us and we dream about, right? We'd rather talk about people and problems than our future and our dreams. And so once again, these are super important things as a foundational piece in your life. Like if you want to live a life of exceptional impact, influence, and faith, these are things that you can do on a daily basis.
So, excuse me. I actually wrote down 2 different questions. One's going to be one for me. By the way, the link I just provided everybody is Josh's YouTube page. I literally just subscribed with my personal and my business, so he's already got 2 more. Help him get a few more, guys.
As well.
You did perfect, because the goal would be to get Josh over 75 by the end of the show. Because I see where you're at, buddy. I want to push that to help you get to that next level, because you're pushing out here. You're doing great things. With this men's group thing, do you meet with your group once a week? Do you meet with them once a month? How does that work? And can outsiders join somehow to be able to build up their best self?
Yeah, you bet, man. So we're in the midst right now. So September 1, we actually launch our new branding of it, which is all going to be housed under Man-Made. You can see that right there. Currently right now it's called Kingsman, and we've usually kind of evolved from that. And so you can subscribe to it basically. So we have a platform. We go through Facebook a lot on things just because it's easy to communicate on that platform. And so what we do is we do things weekly through the platform, the private group. We also have a thing called Alpha Camp. So it's a retreat that guys go to. We either do it in Casper, Wyoming, or in Grand Junction, Colorado, depending on the time of the year. Okay. And it's just an awesome, fun time. I mean, think about this. Like if I was going to tell you, hey, dude, you guys, for 3 days, we're going to go fishing. We're going to go hiking. We're going to go shoot some guns. We're going to go throw some axes. We're going to get back into the woods. We're going to do some manly things. And we're going to have some great conversations. And by the way, if you're a cigar guy, you're going to have a cigar. If you like some whiskey, we might have some whiskey as well too for you. But we're going to go there and we're going to get better, and we're going to learn how to be men amongst men again. And then we're also going to help you understand, like on these 5 foundations, like how you can achieve excellence in those 5 foundations. So that's what we're doing through Man-Made, right? Man-Made is all about like helping the man make themselves but then also
I like that.
Right. And then also just stuff that guys want to know, right? Like,
Yeah.
I want to know how to freaking shoot a gun. I want to know how to ride a motorcycle. I want to know how to change a flat tire. I want to know how to start a small engine, right? Like, I want to be competent in these other areas that, quite honestly, most men don't grow up knowing, right?
Correct. 100% yes.
And I don't want to be shamed for raising my hand, by the way, and saying, hey, listen, I don't really get it. Because that's unfortunately what a lot of men do, is that we shame each other because you don't know how to do this, right? So we do that. And then we have another one called Core of Discovery, which I love this, because one of the things that we know in our modern culture. Now, I know where you're at in South Africa, you guys actually do a fantastic job about this. It was one of my really great friends. She's an interior designer.
We do something right. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, I love her, and I love your guys' accents, by the way. I think it's just absolutely amazing. Actually, my Siri, by the way, has your accent because I love to hear it back to me.
My Siri is Australian because I just like screaming at her. I don't like Australians.
My Siri, Boy George, because I don't know what I hit. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Josh. You were telling us. Yeah, right.
Core of Discovery is really this opportunity for men, especially when you have boys. How do you know you become a man, right? What does that look like in your life when you've graduated or you've officially been initiated into manhood? And so we've really identified one of the problems that we have in our country, especially, is that men, they don't know when they become a man, right? There's no initiation that they go through that. I mean, did they graduate college? Is it their first car? Is it when they get married? Is it when they have a baby? Is it with their first job? Like, there's all this uncertainty. And so what we want to do is help dads. And we really especially want to help young boys. So that's those steps, like, hey, listen, I'm one step closer to being a man. I'm tooled even better to become a man here. So we've created Core of Discovery, which goes back to Lewis and Clark, by the way, which is awesome, right? When they were discovering America, they put out this whole entire advertising campaign around attracting men to become men, become men, right? And so this is that opportunity for dads to bring their sons and say, hey, listen, I've got a 15-year-old boy that's getting ready to drive, and I need to help initiate him into this next phase of his life. And I want him to understand how important and how great this is so that he has more confidence in who he's becoming so he can take ownership of it. So we're doing that as well, too. So
I like that. I really, really like that.
I do too, especially because I'm someone who is for guns. I'm pro gun, but that's because I believe you should know how to clean. You should know how to shoot. You should know why you're shooting it. My grandfather was the range expert for the City of Cleveland Police Department back in the day. And I remember the first toy gun I ever got has just like the rubber sticky things, My grandpa was no hold bars. You do not aim a gun, whether it's a toy or real, at anybody unless you intend to shoot them. Yeah. And that is for self-defense only. Yeah. And he drilled that into me into a way where it's like, even when I'm out now, people see me and they're like, oh, you shoot? I'm like, yeah, I know I don't come across as like a hunter and da-da-da-da-da. I'm just like a, mama's boy, I guess. But at the end of the day, I literally love being out there learning these things. I camp. I love being out learning this. For this, I think what makes you a man is such a great thing because you're separating it into a way that is building. It's accelerating young men to believe in themselves. Yeah. With that being said, I love how you're focusing on the care of discovery was what I wrote down for the other one.
Core of discovery. Yeah,
Core of discovery.
And it's because it's an old English word, it's actually spelled C-O-R-P-S. It actually looks like corpse, but it's core, C-O-R-P-S. It's an old English word because when they did this back in the day, right? So if you look it up, you can actually probably even find Core Discovery, and you'll see the whole Lewis and Clark expedition piece of it. So,
have you always been into history and knowing about a little bit about these things, and it helped develop you to give you the strength for A, your career, but B, to write a book that's going to influence people, and then C, going into the wilderness to really understand why we're supposed to connect with nature?
Yeah, no, I will tell you honestly, no. I was the guy that was constantly raising my hand here in the latter part of my life going, okay, I'm I'm 38 years old right now and I don't even know how to shoot a gun, or I'm 38 years old and I really don't know how to do this. And so what I've done, so Man-Made, the great thing about it is that we have, so one of our partners is Jimmy Klager. He's a 20-year vet. He was a Ranger and just an amazing guy. And so we've got him in it. We've got a gentleman named James Rivera, who is the historian in our group, right? He knows everything about the history of the Wild West and of course, like the discovery of America. So he has just been an amazing asset for us, right? And then I've got a gentleman named Jordan, who happens to be my brother as well, too. And he is a financial expert, and he understands like what's going on in the government right now and what's going on across the world. So we are a really diverse group of men that come from great backgrounds. So we have a little bit of experience and expertise in all of these little areas where, once again, and we're able to help guys in those opportunities. And I'm kind of like the guinea pig. I get to be like, all right, so how do you start a small engine? Because right now, I don't really know if I understand it, right? So I get to be a guy that learns everything. So,
do you coach Little League?
So my boys, I have 2 boys and 2 girls. My oldest is 13 years old, and so the 2 boys, I've been coaching them since they were 8 years old. In any sport that I could possibly get a hold of. I got a daughter now. Both my daughters are playing soccer, which I have no idea how to play like soccer. So I'm learning what offsides look like.
I was that rugby mom that just shouted, "Go, Louis, go!" Because I knew nothing about the rules. I was just a cheerleader.
That's kind of what I'm like in soccer. I'm like, what do you mean? How did they call something right there? Like, it was really offsides. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go with what you said.
Wait till they get older. That's when you start getting it. I have got 1 red card in my life, and it was as a fan.
I have not had that before, but I've almost had a couple of fist fights with some big daddies for shouting at my son.
Yeah.
I could see that. I
was like, excuse me, you don't talk to my child like that. I'll knock you out.
No. Go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted you, Elsa. You were going to ask a question.
I want to know what is a hell yeah? What's the hell yeah statement?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay. So I'm a big fan of mission statements. I'm a big fan of understanding, like, just to be able to write out, like, well, what do you stand for? Right. And so I got to a point in my life where, the mission statements are great. I got them for all of our companies. I have my own personal mission statement. I think those are awesome. I'm a huge fan of Simon Sinek as well, too. And so one of the things he talks about in his is like, what do you stand for? Like, what is your creed? Right. And so we actually created our just cause, like the greater good of what we try to do in our organization. But I got to the point where it was like, okay, these are all nice. They're pretty fluffy. They're great. But I need something that actually motivates me. Right. And so the hell yeah statement is about, like, when you want to make that change, right? When you've identified an area in your life, you're like, man, I am just, for one reason or another, I just can't get over the hump. I just can't make that leap. I just don't know why I keep failing back. I just, I've got the systems in place. I got the accountability in place, but for one reason or another. So the hell yeah statement is something that you can say every single morning, or every moment that you get to that point where you're like, do I go this way or I go this way? I know the decision that I need to make is this way, but I'm starting to make these bad choices this way. The hell yeah statement is you identifying those specific things that are staying in your way. And you just go, this no longer serves me. Like, I'm no longer doing that. Hell yeah, I'm not going to do this anymore. Right. So it allows you to get that inner voice, that inner excitement, right? That competitiveness that I think that we all have in ourselves. It allows us to build that out and express it on an outwardly emotion, as opposed to saying, well, this is my mission and this is what I stand for, right? Just what you said, kind of nice and fluffy. Hell yeah is like when you're standing at the mirror and you're like, hell yeah, dude, I'm doing this. Like, let's go. I deserve it because I am not being that guy anymore. Hell yeah, I do want to do this.
Yes. So, Josh, I like that you phrase that like that. I'm going to twist this question a little, all right? So that competitiveness in us, that hell yeah, and all that. You've stood on a mound for one of the teams that, for 2 very good teams in professional baseball. What gives you more excitement? What gives you that hell yeah moment now? Is it seeing a kid break through and be able to get the best out of themselves? Or could you compare it to a game where you're pitching? Now, wait, were you a starter or were you the bullpen?
I was a starter. Yeah, I was a starter.
So perfect. When you're pitching that one perfect game that we know you pitched, all right, and you're on it and you're just doing it, that adrenaline runs through you. But when you see somebody that maybe you thought wasn't going to, I shouldn't say wasn't going to, you see somebody that needed that extra love and attention. They needed to be able to get to that hell yeah, that moment, that breakthrough hell yeah. That's right, Jessica. I said it. I got you there, girl. Don't you worry. But when we break through, how does that feel with that adrenaline coming through you? Can you even compare the two? And then how do you recommend people find that hell yeah to understand what you're saying? Because I've never pitched in a professional game.
Yeah.
You know, closest I came was wiffle ball.
Well, I would say here's the thing, Brandon. I mean, the emotions that I felt on the mound are probably the similar to the emotions that you feel when you're spinning fire. Like when you get that move down, when you get that thing, you're like, hell yeah, I freaking just did that. Like, dude, I've been working on that move for like 6 years. Like, this is awesome, right?
Yes.
Or, you know, I know like even yoga, because I do yoga as well too. Like when you get that you finally get that move down and you're just like, holy shit, I just did it. Like 6 months.
I can do that move where you stand like this and then you like go down and you plank for a minute like that.
Yeah.
And I'm actually made a video of it to see how long I can stand there. And I posted it on TikTok. I was so impressed with myself.
Yes,
I was like,
awesome.
nah, nobody can see me. Let me make them see me.
Right? There's that amazing emotion right there, right? So that's that inward emotion, and that's that like that confidence building emotion, right? But we all know that's also fleeting, right? Because there's always that, because we're so competitive, there's a next thing. So like you're going to move on to the next move, right? You're going to move on to the next thing, right? It's like, so what you did and you're so excited, a month later, you're like, well, yeah, that's old news. I'm on to the new thing, right? I would tell you the fulfillment that is now, especially in my life, is when I get to see that in other people, because I do have the opportunity to coach young children, which is fantastic. But I also I'm also an executive coach for professionals as well too, when they're trying to move their businesses forward, or maybe they're just trying to figure out a little bit more of that life balance. I will tell you the gratification I get from that is far greater because the impact is far longer. Right? It is a selflessness now. Right? I am helping other people make greater impact in their lives so that they can go and they can impact other people's lives. So it's no longer about throwing the no-hitter, because the no-hitter is just a record and it's in a statistical part of it. And yeah, it's great. It's on the back of my baseball card and it was a great memory. But that's all it means, because you're only as good as the next game when it comes to sports, right? Well, when it comes to impact, you're impacting generations. You're impacting somebody's life, right? And we all know somebody in our lives that, you know, I don't know about you guys, but man, I've lost some loved ones. I've lost some people that have made a decision to take their life because they didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I always sit back from that and go, man, if I could have made an impact, would they still be here? You know, if I could have been a little bit more intentional, if I would have just known. We had a really close friend of ours. He's in our real estate community, and we were trying to recruit him for years. And part of me was hesitant to constantly just be in front of him, because it's like, I don't want to be that annoying broker that's constantly trying to recruit you, right? About a year ago, he ended up killing himself when he went through COVID. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, he leaves his family, he leaves his sons, and he had a daughter. And I will tell you, from that moment on, I said, no more. Like, I'm going to be unapologetic about trying to impact people's lives, because I never want to experience that thought of like, if I just would have made the call, if I'd have just asked the question, if I'd have just given more of myself, would he still be here?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are in that space where they are starting to find their voices and start to get comfortable with where they are spiritually and their relationship with God, and living the way to show people how to live and not tell them how to live.
Exactly.
It's just, I think there's so many people stepping into that power, and we need it. We need as much help as we can with this world.
Yeah. No, I agree. And in fact, I love that you brought that up, because in the book that we talk about leading all the time. And here's the biggest thing, is that you have to lead yourself first.
Yes.
You lead yourself first, and it's amazing what you can do in the world. Yeah. Brother.
He pointed like, I love that. You're the first one to ever point, and I raise my hand all the time. You're like,
I just want to acknowledge you, man. I wanted you to know that I saw you, bro. I saw you.
But isn't that what we want? We just want to be seen.
He's 100% right. Like he did. Josh, thank you. That was awesome. But with that being said, now I lost my train of thought. That's why I raised my hand. I didn't even write it down.
That's payback.
That is payback. Oh, man. Well, what I was going to ask was something along the lines, it was with your book. It's with what you're doing. How does Josh be able to know that he's bringing his best Josh? Like, I ask that because Monday, Ilse, I'm throwing you and I under a bus on this one because it was you and I. Her and I were backstage. Her and I had a horrible weekend between funerals and family issues and all these other things. Her and I were just crying backstage. And we're both looking at each other going, I don't want to go on. And then we're like, all right, there's 2 minutes till. Hold on, take a breath. We got this. And then right when I hit live, both of us turned another energy on. How does Josh know that same thing? Like we knew we had to go live. Our time was there. We had to do this. And there's people that we want to make sure we inspire. How does Josh know that it's not strike three? It's I'm still stepping up to the plate. I'm still doing this. How does Josh keep himself in the moment?
Yeah, it's such an awesome question. I would tell you this. I have learned over the years. So every day, part of my routine, at least you talked about asking me this about how do I fill my cup, is that every morning when I'm doing my regiment, one of the things is I'm constantly asking for wisdom. Like I want wisdom in my life. And here's the thing is that, and I talk about this in the book as well too, there's a formula where I believe wisdom comes from. Wisdom comes from knowledge, right? So knowledge is like talking to people and podcasts and listening to shows like this, right? You get knowledge from that, books, all of these things. But then you also have to get understanding, which means that you have to go through it. You have to get, you actually have to take action on it, right?
Yes.
And so you get knowledge and then you get understanding, but then wisdom comes from the reflection of that. Right. So you go through that experience and then you sit down and you journal, or you sit down and you meditate on it, and you sit down and go, okay, I just went through this awful experience. What did I learn from it? Right. What is going to make me better through it? And so I would say, like, the more that you guys are challenged, the more that you have to go through unfortunate hardships, the better you serve your community, because now you're empathetic. Right. And now you can relate. Or now you can actually step into those conversations with authority and say, hey, listen, I get it. I've been there. You're right. It does suck, but here's how you get out of it, right? And so as much as I try to avoid hard situations, I know that each and every one of those challenges that I get to face is making me a better person and a better leader, and hopefully a better communicator as well, too, with my audience and for those that are actually seeking to grow in their life.
Great answer. Like, so were you like the team leader? Because you have this inspiration behind you that, like, I just feel like you're natural born leader. And I'm sure you've heard that before, but you speak with confidence. And a lot of people, I hate to say, they sound like they're shooting from the hip a lot.
Yeah.
And they're saying things and it's the right things to say, but you're saying it with like a pure, like, no, hold on. Like, I got wisdom. Let's talk about wisdom. Let's talk about knowledge. And you bring this. What is something what are you reading? How do you keep Josh moving in that positive direction? Because for me, I read, meditate, exercise, all those are essential, but it's what I'm reading that is essential. And like, so what does Josh read?
Yeah. Love your answer to this question, because you're right, man. What's the quote? Leaders are readers, right?
Yes.
And it's so brilliant because you're right. When you're getting this wisdom from other people, and you don't have to go through the years of it and the years of experience necessarily to do that. Right now, I'm actually just starting this book called On Purpose with Purpose. Talk about an amazing man. This guy's name is John Ramstead. He was an F-19 pilot. So he was the Top Gun pilot, right? And he had 2 tragedies that happened. So he was number 1 in his class. He was the guy, right? He was the Tom Cruise of the Top Gun program. Had a tragic accident happen where he got a softball just out of the blue. He's playing a softball game and it hit him and hit at his eye, and basically he went almost blind in it. But then after that, after he had to, so now he loses his entire dream because he's like, I'm a Top Gun pilot. What am I going to do now, right? He had this massively hard accident and when he was on a horse, got bucked into a side rail and literally crushed just about every bone in his body. Should have been dead. All of these things, right? Amazing guy. He's made a full recovery, and I've gotten to know the guy personally, but I'm reading his book. And so it's just like things like that are like so inspiring that I got to read it. I got to understand. I got to know like the process, right? And because I know that it's a really, really important thing for me, because I know the more that I am either read or more that I listen to, or the more people that I've communicated with, man, I can help so many more people in where they're at. So, and I'm a huge podcast guy. Like I love listening to podcasts, you know.
I
like,
have a podcast.
I know. So I love it. Like this is awesome. Right? So,
my
You're on one.
yes,
Stone Daisies. I have to get the Stone Daisies in there.
She's like throwing her. She's like, I have a podcast. I have my Stone Daisies. You see them behind me right now. I love you,
These are the
Elsa.
sunflowers.
She forgets that she's on one right now, apparently.
And we've got this little.
By the way,
go
go ahead, Josh.
well, I mean, as much as I love books, I will tell you, like I've had so much impact coming from podcasts that I've listened to, right? Because then I go, listen, I'm going to follow that person. I'm going to try to connect with that person, right? And I will tell you, so many people, I'm sure that people that you have on your podcast, you yourselves individually, you want to hear from your audience. You want to pour into them, not just in this hour or 2 hours that you guys are on, but you want to be able to do this outside of it, because that brings life to you and fulfillment to what you believe is your greater purpose. And so I just want to encourage people. That's exactly right. That's how I got to meet John Ramstead, is I literally heard him on a podcast and I said, that's it. I'm going after this guy. Like I'm going to DM him. I'm going to find him on LinkedIn. I'm going to email him, all these things. The next thing I know, I'm literally having coffee with him and his son in Denver, Colorado last week. And I'm just like, but it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen unless we take action on it.
But that's how I met you guys. That's how I met you.
That was in strip aerobics. Don't lie.
What?
You'll say that side of the story.
What advice do you have for the people for the next 4 months? Because it's almost December. I mean, a lot of things has happened.
Yep.
What advice do you have?
Yeah. This is one oh man, great question. Because I literally just talked to our leadership team about this. And I too talked to a lot of our independent contractors and entrepreneurs. So let's just imagine for a moment, it's December 31 right now. It's December 31 and you and I are having a conversation. And I just simply ask you, how was the year? What did you accomplish? Like, what do you love about what you did this year? Right?
Yeah.
What's that? What was that thing that you took the chance in that you're just like, you're so glad you did it? Right?
There's so many actually.
And so a lot of people never spend the time to just reflect and say, okay, how has the year been? And what else do I want to accomplish in this next 4 months?
Right.
And so if you could be intentional, if you could be focused on something for the remainder of the year so that you can literally sit there and have that conversation with somebody and say, you will not believe what I did finally this year.
I love it because I've got a lot of things that I did.
Yeah, I love it. What would be a book you'd recommend everybody read other than 3 Strikes?
Yeah, you bet. It's it. So one of my favorite, I'm so glad. I'm not sure I'll bring it out right now.
Bring it.
One of my favorite authors is a guy named Mark Batterson. I would say as a man, his book, Play the Man, has been the most impactful, life-changing book that I've ever read. Play the Man. And if you've got a husband, if you've got a boyfriend, if you've got a son, like that is
none of those.
It is like it's the best one to give away. But as a man, that is something that you should highly read. That is one of the pivotal books that has actually made an impact in my life. I love Mark Batterson, but he just came out with a book called Win the Day.
Yeah, I've seen that. Dude,
I am telling you right now, you will love it. He is such a great storyteller. He has amazing stories of the history, not of just of the United States, but of just like historical people in the entire world.
Yeah.
It gives you practical application to things that you can do on a daily basis. And so, so I bought a ton of his books and I just give them away to people because I just absolutely love it. And I know it will actually impact people.
I love that. I love that.
Oh,
I love
I
that
like
you
that.
also have a standing desk.
Yes.
If you haven't noticed, you and I are both doing the same thing.
Totally.
And like we're moving a little bit, and it's like, I'm getting told my man crush, like her husband, Big D. So she's calling me out. She's telling him he's gonna say I don't have a husband now. So even though Brett's in the back going, Brandon, I love you too. So Josh, you've done a lot of really cool things, and I don't want to focus on the baseball side because that's just a part of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But you've been able to be put in situations that are different than most people would understand.
Sure.
And with that being said, people could look at you with that awe factor. I mean, for real, like, but you have this humbleness about you.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
You know, I've been able to learn to be vulnerable.
Oh, I love you for saying that. That's something we talk about all the time here. Sorry, I'll shut up.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's, you know, when you talk about, when you talk about leaders, I think that when you have the authentic leader, the reason why they're authentic is because they're giving you their honest opinion or their honest experience in something that they've had to go through. And I will tell you, when I was able to open up, when I was able to talk about my challenges and my struggles and the things that I either have been able to overcome, or even the things that I'm currently struggling with and challenged with, right? I think it brings that authenticity because now it brings a connection to people. And they can say, man, like he is so far from perfect. I love what he's doing. Or I know that he's working on himself equally as hard as I want to work on myself. And so you can become authentic in that. And you know, Brandon, you talked about this too, like the way that I'm able to speak. I can speak with authentically. I can speak with authenticity, just because that's the way I live. Right? That's just, I've gone through these experiences. I'm running businesses right now. Like I'm not just a coach on the side and writing books and like really have no idea of the real world. Like I literally will go from this meeting into our leadership meeting, and we're going to talk about the challenges. We're going to talk about the products that we're going to be releasing. We're going to talk about the next thing on how to go and achieve some of these big ass goals that we have.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about your goals that you have. What goals do you have for the future? What can people look out for?
Yeah. So one of my goals is to free up more of my time. So I want to spend more time in what we call our flame work, right? Flame work is that. So let me just give you a really brief description of what flame work is. So much of our life we spend building the wax of the candle, right? The wax of the candle, which is all of the things that are continuously like, you know, providing income for us and keeping us on that daily basis and achieving those goals that we want to do. So the wax is awesome, right? The wax is fantastic. But the wick, the thing that really lights us on fire, is so small, right?
Ooh, yeah.
And so you might have this fantastic big foundation right here of a business, but if you don't love it, if you haven't stayed in those passions, you're going to wake up one day and you wonder why you have a midlife crisis, because you're going, wait a second, I just spent 30 years, gave 30 years to this company, or 30 years chasing this thing, and that at the end of the day was not something that I really, really wanted, right? And so my big goal is to spend more and more time in my flame work, the things that really light me on fire, the things that I'm passionate about, the passion projects. So, you know, Man-Made is one of those passion projects where like, I love being in that. I love doing that. I love providing products for that. I love creating events for that. I love getting more men to be empowered by that as well too. And so my whole job is to really start to get myself to get great leaders, to put them in spots and positions within our companies so that they can go and grow it, because I have a ceiling physically and mentally. So I want to get great leaders so that they can take these companies to the next level that I never could have. So then I can spend more time in these passion projects that I desire to be in.
Josh, you are an inspiration, my friend. Like for real. Like I'm gonna buy a copy of Win the Day. I've already have 3 strikes in my cart. The Man-Made and Corpse of Discovery. I have listed because honestly, I have 2 masters in leadership. I have 1 awards for my CBD company, but that's nothing. That was 2020. And like that was more than 2020. But like you get what I'm saying. And I love that you're building that up within people to bring a positive influence in this world. So Josh, please know this has been a phenomenal interview. You are unbelievable. And by the way, I just took a peek. We are at 73 subscribers at his YouTube. We are 2 away from getting him to that 75 mark. So, guys, go get it. Don't make me go steal my mom's phone and make it get to 74. I need 2, okay?
Yeah,
Right? I know. I will make a second mom account just for this to get us to 75. But, Josh, the way we end every show is with a positive affirmation. It could be your favorite quote. It could be your favorite book. It could be literally something coming off your chest that you've been waiting to get off that you just felt now's the time. So what's going to happen is Ilse's going to go first to show you how amazing this is. I'll go second, and then you're going to close the show out today for us. So I look forward to hearing your motivational words. Stick around after the show for a few minutes. We'll just do a quick conversation. But thank you for being amazing, Josh. You are literally leading and excelling, and this is what we need in our world. So thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity, you guys. This has been awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Elsa, bring it, girl.
Monday and Tuesday, we were down and out and sad. And this morning, we woke up with new breath and a new living for life that I have seen blessings in one day more than I can't explain it. It's unexplainable, and things happening and people getting the message out there. And I'm grateful for being part of this. You guys rock. I come here to fill my emotional cup. And I hope other people join us to do the same. And just go out and slay. Just bring your A game. You are worth it. Do it. You can do it. Have an amazing Wednesday.
Great job, Elsa. Great job, sweetie. So I'm going to say the same kind of thing. I'm going to run off what she said. Today is Wednesdays. I like to make my jokes. It's hump day. It's hemp day. No matter where you're going to go today, find someone that you're going to hump the anger out of. And I mean that in the weirdest of ways because I have Elsa laughing at me in the background. But the truth is, go out and find somebody that's not having the best of days and don't do anything other than just be you. That could be you buying them a cup of coffee. That could be you literally paying for, literally holding the door. That could be letting them go in front of you in line because they're in a hurry. Do yourself a favor to get yourself through the hump of the week and give to others freely because that's the way we change the world, guys. Thank you for tuning in today. This was Delight Cafe. Don't forget to check us out at delightcafe.com. Josh, once again, thank you, my man. Absolutely incredible.
Awesome. Well, this has been so much fun. And I just want to let you know, first of all, if you're challenged right now, if you're in this spot in your life, or maybe you feel like you're in this rut and you have no idea how to get out of it, I just want to encourage you to do this, is just take the first step. Listen, the only way that you can predict the future is if you actually create it. And you got to take the first step. And just because you might take a couple steps back, it doesn't mean that you're failed or that you are a failure. It just means that you're just repositioning yourself for the next greatest accomplishment in your life. And so by being on this podcast, by listening to these two amazing people, you have already said to yourself that the old life that you have been having does no longer serve you. And you are excited and you want change in your life now. So I just want to encourage you that the future that you want is one step ahead of you. The future that you want is only one commitment ahead of you. And are you willing to do that today to get to the place where you want to be? I appreciate y'all. And I do love y'all too.
Outstanding. Guys, have a good one. Like, comment, share. And before I go, we are 73, 2 subscribers. Go get them. Go subscribe. Now, Brett, I'm looking at you in the back. You better be going and doing that. Have a good one, guys.